all this, let's bring in Louisiana Senator John Kennedy. Kennedy sits on the Judiciary Committee. He will weigh in now. Senator, good morning to you. Welcome. Great to have you on this holiday week, sir. What did you think of what you just heard and what you heard from the president-elect over the weekend saying he won't talk to any of these Attorney General hopefuls about his son's investigation?
Sandra, I heard Mr. Biden's comms director say that the vice president would not talk to his attorney general nominee. And when I heard that, her comments, I thought to myself, whoever wrote that for her did it after their morning beer. I mean, that implies that Mr. Biden thought about talking to his nominee but decided against it. And that's why we need a special counsel. We cannot depend on most members of the news media to ferret out the facts around the Hunter Biden allegations. The news, we know, just isn't the news anymore from any news organizations. There's some chance, a good chance, that the Delaware U.S. attorney who's in charge of this investigation won't be around much longer. And I think if Mr. Biden thinks it through, not to try to give him advice, but he's going to see that if he wants this issue to go away, and I'm sure he does, he's going to need the cachet of a special counsel that people trust who will look at this independently. Now, we've got to get to the bottom of this. We have a moral imperative. These are the facts. President Obama put Mr. Biden in charge of the foreign affairs of two countries, Ukraine and Germany. I said Germany. I'm sorry, Ukraine and China. In both cases, his son walked away with millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of contracts. And the appearance that gave, I'm not saying there was any illegality, but the appearance that gave was that America's foreign policy can be bought.
Joe Biden says he never discussed any of this with his son. Do you not believe him?
I don't know. I think an independent prosecutor will find out. I think I know what most Americans are thinking, those who are Democrats and Republicans. What did Hunter Biden do for the money? It's very simple. What did he do for the money?
I want to move on to China as a threat as a whole. Rick Grinnell on that, saying that he believes that Democrats have hoodwinked Americans when it comes to China. Listen.
Russia is a problem, but when you view it as a China as a non-crisis, then you give life to the fact that Russia is more important than China, and that is not true. We've been hoodwinked for the last couple of years by many Democrats trying to make Russia a bigger problem. China is a very clear crisis.
Quick reaction to that before I move on to the COVID relief bill.
Well, first, Russia is a problem. But let's put it in perspective. Russia really is a country with a third-rate economy. They do have good spies, and they do have nuclear weapons, so I have to take them seriously. But they're not nearly as much of a problem and a threat to American security as China. The Chinese people are good people, but Xi Jinping is a pirate. And he's demonstrated that time and time and time again.
I want to move on now to Kevin McCarthy blaming Nancy Pelosi for the delay on the stimulus. As we know, senators hard at work over the weekend trying to get this done. But the truth is, he says Congress could have done this deal months ago. Senator Nancy Pelosi is the only reason it did not happen sooner. Does this get real help to the American people that so many struggling Americans have been waiting for so long to see this happen?
Well, the bill should have happened sooner. How can I put this? I don't want to say anything to upset anybody at the last minute, but you've got to be careful with old people, as most of us in Congress are. They don't like being old in the first place, so they get kind of touchy. And these negotiations were very touchy, and we had to be patient. But I think we're going to have a reasonably good result today. It gives more money to small business, gives more money to the American people, gives more money to vaccine distribution.
But is it enough?
Let's get the bill
Is it enough
passed.
to get the real help that they need? I mean, I'm looking at the Dow this morning futures indicating a 408-point sell-off. Is this real help, or is this just optics for senators in Washington to make it look like they're bringing real help to the American people? Which is it?
Oh, it's real help. It's $1 trillion, for God's sakes. What is that, $1,000 million? And there is no money, Ferry. We don't have this money. We don't have 5% of it, Sandra. We had to borrow it. It's real help. Will it be enough? I think it will be, but we're just going to have to wait and see.
I should suggest the question is, what's the real economic impact of this, Senator? When considering we're still in the middle of a pandemic and we're spiking as far as coronavirus cases across the country, many restaurants that survived this still can't open their doors.
Well, restaurants are going to get money through the PPP, the Help for Small Business. Folks who are unemployed are going to get enough money to help them through the current surge. They'll be available for a vaccine very, very soon. We're going to spend more money on vaccine distribution. I think it will be enough, but nobody knows.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see.
It's the timing, obviously, of it that many are questioning why it took so long. I hear you asking the same question as Kevin McCarthy. We're going to have more on that coming up and possible vote later today. We'll be watching all of it. Senator, appreciate your time this morning.
Thanks, Sandra.
Thank you.